Hello, ladies and gentle ladies. Welcome back to another industrial development stream. Um, Thank you, Wide, for informing me that I doxed myself. There was probably a more discreet way of letting me know, but thank you. Yeah, so we're back with another industrial development stream. I will try not to dox myself again. Although really it was my dad doxing me. He put the box there and didn't. But still. Yeah, I have my postcode on it. I don't think I have my address on it, but I have my postcode on it. So, yeah, not ideal. In that sense, why that stream is now deleted off the face of the earth. It may have not been readable, I don't know. But I'm not gonna risk it. So from now on, I will be a little bit more careful what is in the background. I thought that even though that was in the background, it would be out of view, but it's fine. Anyways, Industria. We're going to be doing the fractional distillation today, is the plan. I'm going to try and turn my camera on again and hopefully not dox myself. So yes, hello everybody. You can now see I have rotated the box, so you can't see the address. So yeah, we're going to be doing fractional distillation, or at least that's the plan, but it might change depending on how I feel. I think we need to briefly go over what we already have in the mod, because it's been a long time, and I don't remember, to be honest. So let's have a look. Do you have an AC in them? No, unfortunately not. Wide. I do not. I have a fan, but I think if I turn it on, it will be very loud. You know what? Should we try it? Actually, fine. Huh. I really thought that would come through. Maybe it might be coming through whilst I'm speaking. Maybe. But it's not coming through when I'm not speaking. Yeah, I can have my fan on. That's great. That's a W. Yeah, so YouTube has now added this XP thing. I don't know how it works, to be honest. I can see my #1 fan, so I can see that Wide is my #1 fan. Closely followed by Lime Basti and then Botrix. Although you're all tied at 75 XP. I don't know how you get XP. Apparently just sending messages, sending super chats and super stickers is how you get them. So you either need to send a bunch of messages or you need to send some super chat. Thank you, Basti, for the €2.49. You are now the #1 fan at 225 XP. Well done. This is a very interesting system. Okay. Yeah, you guys all need to try and beat Basti, man. I wouldn't be complaining. Okay, let's have a look at what's in the mod anyways. You want confirmation of picture? But I don't even like chocolate croissants. Like, they're always dark chocolate, and I don't like dark chocolate. But we will see. Thank you, Lime, for the £2. Unfortunately, I don't think £2 gets you in first. No, it ties you in first. Oh no, it does actually put you in first. You are tied, technically. Okay, maybe I will buy a croissant. Right, fine. Fine. Just to make you happy. Okay. Anyways. Let's finally get on to what we have here. So, yeah, so we have kind of the usual stuff. I'm trying to remember, so we have like a wellhead. I haven't created a model or anything for yet. I will not get a Coke. Thank you, Lime. I don't like Coke. Well, Coke is actually mid, but thank you, Basti, to the €2.49. I will actually be getting some beans tomorrow, so you're in luck, Basti. Very much in luck, because yes, we are going to be getting beans tomorrow. Okay. So, you guys are throwing me off track, man. Okay. Fractional distillation. We need the 2 blocks. So we have the tower and then we have the controller. Do we want to do fractional distillation? I kind of don't want to do fractional distillation, to be honest. So it just, I think you just place them like this. I think that's it. I don't know how high they go. Apparently to there. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Can we get a Neo 1.21 tutorial? I don't really see the point in that. Even if I did NeoForge, which I don't, by the way, I think Corpon very clearly has NeoForge covered for 1.21.1. He's basically done, you know, all you could want for NeoForge. So I wouldn't see any point in doing that anyways. Good evening, Romeo. Welcome to the stream. But yeah, I don't see the point in that. I will be doing multi-loader for 1.22. So yeah, that's going to be fine. Oh, we actually can't do the fractional distillation controller or the fractional distillation because it needs heat. And I don't think heat really works. Yes, this turbine is very fast because the code for calculating the output is incorrect. So I need to fix that at some point. Oh yes, this is what I was working on. So the last thing I was working on was the induction heater and getting it to display the correct heat values. So you can see here, like this one's at 112, this one's at 78.9, this one's 73, this one's 70, and it goes all the way down to here. This one's 53. So that's kind of how that works, and you can see that does the same. Yeah, I don't remember adding the colors. I don't know where the colors have come from. I must have done that, but I don't remember doing that. I don't know why this one's green and why this one's also green. I don't know. This is just a debug thing anyways, really. This isn't intended to be permanent. I wonder why this isn't displaying the water. That's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, so heat, I guess, kind of works. The thing with heat is I don't really know how to quote-unquote consume heat, right? Like, how do you consume heat? Because I don't want to decrease heat from this pipe, because that's not how heat works, right? So heat effectively, what I believe happens is this entire kind of no, so it comes from the sources, right? So this would be a source of the heat, and it puts a number into here. And then basically from this pipe, it spreads along these. So it calculates, like what it should be from here, I think. I don't even remember. Should we have a look? I don't know why I'm pressing. Jesus Christ, I'm a little bit lost. I don't know why I'm pressing that button. I meant to press that button. There we go. Heat pipe network. We can have a look. So for the pipes in the pipe list, it gets the heat storage. For each direction, it goes through the neighbors. If the neighbor is a heat pipe, I don't know what this does. What does this do? What does this do? What? I don't know why I did this. I'm a little bit concerned about that. And pipe pot as long is less than neighbor pots. This is the problem with writing code a long time ago, and then you always come back to it and like, what the fuck is this? This isn't even used, this hash map. So I don't think I even need that. So this exchanges from the pipe storage to the neighbor storage, right? And then it does, so it's just basic transfer. There's nothing special here. Yeah, so, I mean, this is transferring per pipe, right? So this is pipe to pipe. So this is what it will do for pipe to pipe. And then it loses, like, this amount, because this is, I don't know why I called it conductive. Is that the right term? Not sure that's the right term, really. Why does heat decrease with distance? If it's due temp outside, after some point it should start increasing again. How did it start increasing? I'm confused. I'm not sure I understand. Because if I do this, right? You can see that it's just at 23. I mean, this is what it does for a connected block anyways. And then it has here the ambient dissipation. So this is what it loses in, like, yeah, this is only, this would be like a loss over temperatures and stuff. I don't really know what's going on, to be honest. I haven't touched this mod in so long. You know what? Should we have a look at when I last touched this mod? We can have a look, I think. It's actually the last commit is when I last touched it. Apparently it was a month ago. 13th of June. But in programming terms, that's quite a long time, so... So yeah. What was your final exam about? Well, I didn't have exams for the last year of university. I only had exams in the first and second year. So I couldn't tell you what my last exam was. I don't remember what exams I even had in the second year, to be honest. What would it have been? I think it was like, I don't even know what my last exam was. Maybe I had some really weird modules in my second year, so it would have been one of them. Don't you have like a bachelor thesis or whatever it's called? I had to do a final year project, which was just making a project and writing about it. It was all right, I guess. But there wasn't like exams or anything. It's good because I hate exams. I'm terrible at it. So, what's going on over here? Oh, I wanted to. Yeah. So we got to choose the project, and I chose to make a programming language for my project, which was fun. I wouldn't do it again. I definitely wouldn't do it again, but it was interesting, I guess. An interesting learning experience. Hello, Vortex Blender. Welcome to the stream. You didn't fully watch it, Basti? I can't believe you. It was only like 10 minutes. I purposely tried to make it a very short video so that it would I also, did I not mention that in like the first like minute? I think I mentioned that in like the first. God, you guys are so brain rotted, huh? You had to watch that in 2. Damn. This might be a dumb question, but with mixins, how would you modify a class without it crashing in case of the class to this? I don't think you need to, do you? Oh, I think you just use a string or something. I think, because in the mixin you can pass a string instead of a class. Like, I could pass in, net.minecraft.block.abstractBlock.abstractBlock state instead of this. I could do net.minecraft.block. Can you not do that? It might be slashes that you need to do. Oh my god. Once again, I'm back in the not being able to type thing. Is that not correct? Ah, yeah, there you go. Targets. There you go. I think if you do that, I think it will be fine. I believe. Pretty sure. How do you learn to program? I learned in a terrible way, which I wouldn't recommend to anyone, and that is just, modding. It was terrible. It took me way too long. It took me like 2.5 years to actually learn anything. So I would not recommend that to anyone. If you want to learn Java or, you know, programming in general, just take a course, or the better approach is to just work on projects, right? Find a project you think would be cool, not too complicated because you probably won't manage to do it, but something you think is cool, and that you're interested in doing, and try and do that. But what if the class does not exist? Will it crash or not? You know what? We can find out. I don't know that it's going to actually like me doing this because because all of these are gonna give problems. But can we have a look? Okay, I didn't like that. And that's a compile error though. That shouldn't be a compile error, right? And mixins are at runtime. I reckon that's probably the plugin that's causing this, if I'm being honest. Oh, you're right. Actually, they yes, they do. Probably, I'm not 100% sure, but they probably do a pre-compile stage, maybe. So in that case, I mean, it wouldn't matter if you built the mod though, right? Because you have it as a compile only dependent. And then that allows you to compile with, and then it's whether or not it works at runtime or not, which I can't test because I don't have anything. At least I don't think I have anything compile only in this. We can have a look. No, I don't. These are all compile and runtime. So actually, mod menu shouldn't be. That's runtime only, isn't it? I think. I don't know, man. Modding. I am so far lost from modding at the moment. Anyways, what we're gonna work on today is I don't really know. Yeah, it's because you guys take me off track, man. I could keep on track if you guys weren't making me, you know, do other things. Okay, I don't even know what we should work on today. What do you want to work on, chat? You know, you're right, Wade. I shouldn't blame you guys. I apologize. It's not your fault. Okay, what should we work on today? What do we even have that we can work on, I guess, is the question, the important question. Let's go to blocking it. Oop, not that. Blocking it. Okay, have we finished the aluminium stuff? I think we have. But I'm going to check. And the way I'm going to check, and this is probably not the way I should check, but I'm going to go to... Yes, we did, didn't we, actually? Because the rotary kiln outputs ingots. I think. Yes, and then we're waiting for Basti. Waiting for Basti to do the friggin' rendering with the rotary kiln. Which is why I left that. Because Basti didn't do that because he's lazy. I forgot about that. Okay. Okay, so then... then the next thing we can do then is we can work on the other ones, right? Because we also added... yeah, so that's for aluminium, but we also added tin and zinc, so we can do those. You just need to teach me how to send shit to client. Bro, I already told you how to do this. I already told you, you just need to write it to the NBT. Look, okay, you know what? Look, rotary kiln. Time? Is this the right class? Yes. Okay, what are we writing? It's a map, right? I mean, I don't have the friggin' thing in here because, also it's not in here. don't know why I think it's in here. It's in the controller. It's a map of... What's it a map of? Map of... Do I have to check our DMs, or do you remember, Basti? A map of recipe to an animation data. Oh, item animation data? Are you sure? I think it's a recipe to an... Okay. I don't know what a recipe is. Does it mean this? What do you mean by recipe? I assume you mean the input recipe entry? No, you can't mean that. You must mean this. The registry key of the recipe. That makes sense. Okay, so let's say... Okay. Let's say we want this, and then we want animation data. I don't know what an animation data is in your context. I don't know what information it stores, but let's just say it's a record. Animation data. I don't know what to put in here, but we'll put some floats. Okay, we'll put float 1, float 2, float 3. No. Well, that works. That works. And then we go down to write MBT. Okay. So then we can create animation data MBT. I mean, it's basically going to do it for me. Like, why don't you just have this, Basti? Look. I think it might not actually be correct. It might not do it correctly. I'm going to see what it's actually doing. I'm not sure it's correct. Is this correct? So it gets the registry key, which is the key, right, of the map, and it gets the value. It creates a compound, and then it gets the identifier. That's fine because you only need to serialize the identifier, because we already know the registry, so that's fine. And then it puts the free floats, puts that into MBT, and then you would just write this. And then for reading, it's the exact same, just the opposite. Animation clear, get compound, gets the key? No, why has it done that though? Oh, no. Is that fine? Get keys. Yes, because that gets the... Wait. But recipe key dot get value dot to... Okay, no, this hasn't done it quite right. It was close. It was really close, admittedly, but it hasn't done it right. This needs to be an MBT list, and then it needs to do add recipe MBT. Like that, because then it's putting a compound in there. The compound has the identifier here, which is the registry key. Then it has the free floats, which are part of the animation data. Then it puts the list into the animation data. And then over here, it just needs to get the list. And then loop over the list. And then, what's this doing? A compound or empty? Yes, so that gets it as a compound. and then it gets the registry key, which it gets from what it wrote. This is probably necessary. Maybe. Sure. And then it gets the free floats, and then it puts it in the map. That's all you had to do, Basti. And AI did that for me. I didn't even do it. So there you go. Even though it's not going to be the exact data you want to write, of course. But I'm sure it's close enough. Anyways. Hidden. But I could have easily done that with AI. AI just saved me time there. It meant I didn't have to write it. But I'm not pushing that shit because that's not the actual animation data. It's just a free random float. I'm not gonna push that. You're crazy. Why are you not gonna write that again, bro? It was like 5 lines of code. Okay. I'm trying to look up tin. We'll go back and watch it then, Basti. It's a stream. It becomes a video, you know? It becomes a VOD. Hi, I'm following your 1.21 to Fabric Modern store. I want to know what you made your IntelliJ look like. It does. Just themes, man. I have... So there's 2 things I have, actually. If we go into plugins, I have the IU Dark theme, which is my theme. And then I also have... Do I not? Yes, I do. It's literally right here. I have Atom Material icons, which is what my icons are, which makes, you know, my icons look better. And then also the font as well. I don't know what the font is. We have a look. Apparently it's Inter? That can't be correct. Oh no, not that. I'm looking for the editor font. Editor. General. Font. JetBrains Mono. Okay, so just the default one. There you go. I could probably enable ligatures, couldn't I? Can we do that? There you go. Now we have ligatures as well, which means that it will do... Do I not have any examples of that? Oh, it didn't even work. Nice one. Nice. Bro, you really want me to send that? Fine, Basti, I will send that. Local history. Show history. Never mind, I don't think it's saved in my local history. Fine, I'll bring it back. Send it to you on Discord. But I'm not going to format it for you. Because Discord's probably going to fuck up the format. Can't be bothered to fix it. It actually didn't fuck up the format. I'm surprised. There you go. Okay. So, now I've lost my OBS. Okay, get rid of those. We don't want them. Nice. Okay. So, tin. About... What is this mod about? This mod is a tech mod. That is the idea. So we have a bunch of tech stuff. Which is why we need to now do tin. So what is tin ore called? It's called, oh, it's just definitely not tin. It's not called tin. Raw tin. It's not called tin. What's it called? Oh my god, it's in so many games. Aha, found it. Cassiterite. Which I think I always called Casserite, because I'm lazy. But Cassiterite. I think Astroneer has that, actually. Wait, Astroneer? Is that the game I'm thinking of? Yes, I think so. So, Cassiterite. And then, do I need to name that anywhere else? You know what I can do, actually? I can rename this. No, not like that. I can do right click and then refactor, rename. Can I not? That's it. Light. Damn, it's not going to tell me to rename string usage. This is so sad. Usually, you can like, I mean, I guess I could do it in here, actually. I could say tin, and then, or I could do, raw tin. And then replace this with raw underscore casset. I'm gonna spell this wrong at some point. Nope, I have just spelled it wrong. Oh, this will work. Or underscore. Yes. This is, by the way, not how you're meant to do things. You shouldn't just replace things like this, because I'm probably going to miss something and it's going to mess everything up. Did I spell that right? Yes. But in theory, that worked. So I will reload just to make sure I'm going to run data gen, because it might have like broke the caches or something. So I obviously don't want that. So that's run, and then we'll do run client. Let me just check the music is still running, since I know it likes to pause itself sometimes. There ain't no get list or empty. There is. There definitely is. Are you sure you have the most updated version of the mod capacity? I suspect you probably don't, because I updated it to 1.21.6. I don't know, I went that far, it's in here. 1.21.5, I need to update it to 1.21.8 at some point. Okay. Let's load into here. You need to go to your fork on GitHub, and then you need to there's like an update repository or something button. I would rather you don't, Basti. Thank you. Where is this, bro? Raw. Oh, I did raw underscore. That's why it probably didn't work. Oh, that's worked. The lang just hasn't worked. Oh, of course it hasn't, because I did raw tin, but that's actually needs to be raw. Yes. It. Height. Replace all. You know, actually, I will check something. Lang. I want to see, what did I do for bauxite? Did I call the item raw bauxite? Oh, you know what I also need to do? What's this? What is this? What the hell is this? Why is it giving me a HTML file? How to fetch Realms feature flags. Realms service area error 502 with the raw payload. pc.realms.minecraft.net isn't responding to the Azure front door. Bad gateway. Mojang servers are down. Or is Azure down? Oh, I see. Realms has been down since the 23rd. Oh, never mind. That was last year. Do they not have a status page? I don't know. Either way, Realms is down. That's interesting. Malform JSON though. Okay, can you tell me? Oh, this isn't a me problem. This is Realms problem. Right, Basti, you didn't. Okay. You didn't stash your changes. Or you didn't at least. Okay. Okay, Basti. I don't know how you managed that, but sure. Okay. So let's replace these. There's quite a lot here, actually. So we will just replace all, replace. Tin ore, that's fine. Okay, and then what I'll do for the rest. Actually, do I want to? Yes, so I'd really like to do this as well. Yes, yes, sir. No, Cass, it, height. Okay, and then we'll replace all. Okay, and then I need to do in or, and I need to replace that with Cass, it, height, or. Okay. We'll run data gen again though, in case. Okay. We're going to try and run this. We'll see if this works. Okay, I'm just kind of looking up how we actually are going to process tin or cassiterite. How do I say this? Cassiterite. Can you tell me how to say it, please? Cassiterite. Okay, there we go. Now we know how to say it. Cassiterite. Okay. But I'm looking up how to process cassiterite. It looks like obviously you mine it, needless to say, then you crush it and grind it. So we'll just put it through the crusher. And then you concentrate it, which apparently is called beneficiation. Which has some very interesting things in it. And then you just smelt it using the rotary kiln. So it's actually pretty simple. But then it looks like you probably should refine it, which you would do in either a liquidation furnace or no, liquation furnace? Or an electrolytic refining cell, of which I would just use the electrolysis machine thing that we already have for that one. And then obviously you cast it, but I'm not going to worry about casting. We're just imagining that, you know, you get some puring out of things. Whoa, I've given Minecraft a seizure with that one, because obviously the ores don't exist anymore. That's lagging kind of bad, but okay. So in theory we now have cassiterite, which we do, which is great. I don't have textures for any of these yet, but I will obviously have to do that. I feel like you should simplify the industrial on initialize. I was going to do that actually. I just never got around to it. I did it for the client. So if you go into client Java industrial client, you can see I cleaned up this one. I didn't get around to doing it for this one, but I definitely do need to, and it would be pretty. You know what? Should we do it right now? It's only going to take like a couple minutes. I think we can do it. So these can all be there. Let's. How do I want to do that? The problem I have is putting these things in the right packages. Like, where should I put a class that registers, or I guess it is technically a registry, huh? Okay. Item, storage, init. Okay. This is actually going to take a hot minute now that I think about it, because I'm gonna have to take all of these out and put them in there. But only the items. So I'm gonna have to go one by one. Yeah, actually, this won't take too long. Oh, I somehow messed that one up. I don't know how I managed that one. Okay. Item storage. Item storage. Chat, let me know if you see me miss one. Chances are I will probably miss. I actually shouldn't, because when I double click it, it does highlight the other ones around it. I like that, and then blah blah blah. Okay, these ones are all fine. I can just leave these ones. Okay, so then we just do item, storage, init, dot init. Why is that not showing up? Oh, I put it in the client like an absolute idiot. Let's put it in it. There you go. Let me post something so that I don't get already getting okay, main Java init. Perfect. Okay, next one. Let's do energy storage init. Public static void init. Boom. I can just copy these ones. There we go. Energy. Oh. Okay, this actually is gonna take a little bit longer than I expected. Because it's just a slow process. Go. Or add this one in there. And then we do energy storage init. Init. Then we do fluid storage init. Public static void init. Okay. Oops. Messed that one. I also messed that one up. This is great. I missed an energy storage. I knew I'd missed one. Nice. Okay, and then I need to put this. Fluid storage init dot init. Let's look at what you said back, shall we? I don't know how it works, Basti. Is the answer to your question. Rotary kiln. Okay, I don't really have much space up here. Got to try and find like a big flat area, or otherwise just. So if I do that, yeah, here you go. I don't know what you're on about, Basti. It works perfectly fine. Yep, there you go, and then that's the end there. So you just have to place it the actual block in front, not on the block, I think. Which maybe is a bug. But here we are. I forgot this world doesn't save, I don't think, actually. Because I've messed it up so much during development, I don't think this world saves, or at least not without me just closing it. I mean, I'll leave it to try and do that. No, it's not supposed to be invisible, Basti, but you know, it's kind of waiting for you to fix that. Because once you do your rendering, then I can add back the rendering for the actual machine itself. And I couldn't do that because it would clash with your commit or something. Oh, my PC might have just died. Okay, it's fine. We're fine. All good. Okay. Heat storage in it. You need the machine rendering? Well, I think the code for it's there. I think it's just commented out, no? If we go renderer, block, rotary kiln renderer. Yeah, so the code in here, it renders the first segment. It renders the first two segments. But yeah, it has here, it's not model.render segment. But because it does the if true return, it doesn't do that. Public static void init. Okay, so we got heat storage in it. Heat storage. Okay, and then we'll just do heat storage in it dot init. Okay, let me minimize this because I'm going to get confused again. Then we'll do slurry storage init public static void init. Oops. And we'll put these in there. Storage init dot init. I think you sent me some of the code, Basti, if I recall correctly. Or, well, you showed me the math. No, you did. You sent me some of the code. It's probably a little bit outdated, though. So, or if you have local history turned on in IntelliJ, then you can use that. Which is always good. Gas storage init public static void init. I also think doesn't GitHub Desktop use doesn't it send your changes to the recycle bin? I think it does, if I recall correctly. Oh, this needs to go. Restore. Where are you? Where are you? There it is. And this to go here. Okay. I am gonna create a new package, which is gonna be transfer types, and I'm gonna put these in there. Clean that up a little bit. I don't have it yet. Transferred. There you go. Refactor. Transfer type. Init. Public static void init. And what I will do, I will copy all of these into there like that. Okay, then we have payloads. So let's do payload type init. And then let's have a public static void init. And then I'm going to have a private static void register C2S. And I'm going to have a private static void register. Wait, C2S, not CS2. C2S and then S2C. Okay, and then I have to just get these in the correct one. So, oh, and also, yeah, do that. So C2S, 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 C2S. So that's all of these ones. Okay. That one. There we go. And then put that in there. I could probably I mean, it returns a static variable, so it doesn't really matter. So that's fine. And then we'll just do data type init dot init. Oh, I need to do transfer types init dot init. Go. Okay. Then we have packet receivers. So we can have packet receiver init public static void init, and then I'm just gonna take all of these. That's an event, so we don't want that one. There we go. Packet receiver init dot init. Okay, then we have events. So we put the events in there. Events init. I'll probably rename some of these later actually, because it's a bit weird to call them these, but we'll do for now. Okay, then we have the fluid stuff. The renderer is in client, the BE is in main. How can I access the class from the renderer in the BE? Well, the class needs to not be in the renderer. That's how. It needs to be in the BE, or at least it needs to be in main. Otherwise you can't access. What are these called? Fluid attributes. Fluid attributes. Init. Or init. Fluid attribute. Init. Public static void init. I think I just didn't commit that to GitHub, did I? Add. Yeah, you can access main from client, but you can't access client from main. That's how that works. So fluid data init public static void init. Boom. Fluid data init dot init. Okay, then we have the gas stuff. So we can do gas attributes init. Some of these are going to seem like really stupid classes, and I understand that. But the mod is small right now. You know, there's only 4 gases right now, but in theory, in the future, there could be significantly more. So it does actually make sense, silly as it seems. But that's much better. That's much cleaner. These should really be somewhere else, to be honest, but I don't know where else I should put them. I'm gonna quickly do a git commit. So gonna clean. So I'm gonna not do this. No, I can show you guys this, can't I? Just gotta choose what I'm committing. I don't want to commit all of this stuff. I'll do that as a separate commit. Or that one's fine. Yeah. Fine, all fine, all fine. And then that's all that, that's all that. Yeah, I'll include that with this one. Okay. He's all fine. Just to save you the pain, Basti, I will discard these. Oh, those don't break everything. Yeah, just gonna check there's nothing in here. Yeah, okay. So rename raw tin to what? Cassari. Right. Did I spell that wrong? Or does it just doesn't know? Okay. Commit. That took a hot minute. And then I'm gonna do here clean up main clean up main no clean up on initialize slash main class. Okay, perfect. So that's all of that done. We can close all that. So machines. How long have we been live for so that I know where we're at? Okay, an hour 10. Or hour 20 if we include the mess of a stream that happened before this one. Okay, so we have a crusher. Right? We go blocking it. We have somewhere crusher. So we've already got that step done. That's fine. Ideally you would have like multiple crushers, right? For different sized ones that get it into the fine powder at the end, but I'm not going to really worry too much about that. I don't want to go over the top. So hello Hacker Boy, welcome to the stream. So in the concentration stage, which we're going to say is after the crashing stage, there's a lot of different steps that happen, at least in real life. Probably going to want to get rid of some of these because we're probably not going to care that much about some of these. So we start off with a, what even is this? Okay, so it would usually start off with something called a trommel, which apparently is like some like size classification thing. I don't really know what it does, if I'm being honest. Look, this is what it looks like. what it actually does. Does it just shake out stuff that's not the right thing? One more screen. Here we go. Let's go dark mode so I don't completely blind all of you. I like it standard actually. Okay. Separate materials. Okay, so it's just a size separation. And presumably the bigger ones just go back into the crusher. So we're not gonna do this though. We don't need that. We don't care about it. The next one is a spiral classifier. I wonder if we can find that on Wikipedia. I don't think so. Not at all. This is too confusing. Let's go something simpler, please. Come on, something simple. Give me something simple. Okay, so basically it's just a density thing, if I'm understanding correctly. So the more yeah. That makes sense. That's pretty simple. Okay. I think we'll skip that one though. I don't see a need for that one. Really just because I think it's going to be too complicated to add. I think that's why. Yeah, the animation is going to be a pain in the butt. Wait, so does it go at an angle or not? Because, like, this one's at an angle, but, like, this one's just flat on the ground. Surely the entire point is that it goes at an angle so that it drags it. It drags the denser stuff, right? Surely. Yeah, you can see how it works here. It just drags it up. Apparently, by the way, a lot of these machines are used for gold mining. So, this is perfect, actually. So this is kind of like a breakdown of what it does. So it does the spiral classifier, then sedimentation tanks, and then you got, I think that's just for like leftover stuff or storage or something. And then you got the shaker table, which is actually the next thing in the list, which separates it using gravity. I don't know if we want the spiral classifier though. What do you guys think? Should we add a spiral classifier? No, I can do, actually, I can make a poll. Here we go. I think shaker table will be really cool. How the fuck do I do a poll? um. There you go. I've added a poll for the spiral classifier. Okay, this thing. Trying to find a good image. That one's good enough. 100% no. How many people have voted? One person. uh, okay, well, I'll leave that there for a minute or two. Okay. So these images are like ancient. Yeah, where's everyone gone, man? You guys hiding? Who's hiding? It's probably because I've been faffing about as usual. I think this is a cool machine, but I don't know necessarily if it's a good idea. Because I don't want to overcomplicate things. I think that's the very important thing about making a tech mod, is that you don't overcomplicate things. Because it's a fine line between, like, Greg tech and Mekanism. Right? I think you could very easily get into Greg tech territory, and you could very easily get into Mekanism territory. Did you fuck up world saving by chance? Possibly. I wouldn't be surprised. You'll probably have to create a new world. Oh. My watch. And my watch. I've fucked up world saving many times, Basti, so probably. Okay. I think the poll is changing, man. It's 60-40. It was 75-25, and I was gonna end it and say yes. But 60 is like, 60's too close. We need one more vote. We need that last person to vote on whether we add it or not. If they say yes, we'll add it. If they say no, we won't add it. In the meantime, we can look at the shaking table, which I think is really cool. I should probably do shaking table mineral processing, because I think that's slightly different. Maybe? Okay, why these are not really helpful. I'm very confused. What am I looking at? So this is the shaking table, right? Does it just shake it? And then I'm gonna is there a Wikipedia page maybe? This Wifley table or Wilfley table. Concentration of heavy minerals. Yeah, so this is the correct thing. Is there an animation on YouTube? We can have a look. I don't want to dox it. So I will, you know, actually I can do this. Because that'll put me in a brand new account. So I can do will be table. Okay. There's no animations, unfortunately. You know, I could look up what's it called? What was the other name for it? I've already forgotten. Shaking table. Oh god, it has music. Okay, so it just shakes back and forth. With water running down it. Is that how it works? I believe so. And that's pretty simple, if that's the case, right? I think that would be cool to add. Okay, has anyone else voted on this poll? No, no one else has voted. Come on, guys. Who here has not voted on this poll? There's at least 3 more of you here who have not voted on this poll. In the meantime, we can add a shaking table. Because we know we're definitely going to have that. So it is going to be a multi-block as well. So we'll do a public static final. Ah, someone else voted. Let's go. Now I can end the poll. Okay. So we can have a shaking. I'm just going to call it a shaking table. I'm not going to call it that other weird thing that it was on about, like a willfully thing. No, we're not going to call it that. I think a shaking table is much simpler, and I think more people will understand what that does, right? So, we can create new class, extends industrial block, create constructor, new block properties. Isn't there a builder? Oh, this is a builder. Okay. So I don't remember what the settings. So it has horizontal facing. Okay. Let's not look at the solar panel actually. Let's look at something else that has a multi-block, like I want something nice and simple, please. Mixer. Okay, so it will have a comparator output, sure. What's the reason to create a new class now and then? Well, effectively, we need a class for this because we have to say that this is. Well, we actually technically don't need a class for this because it doesn't. I could just do a new industrial block, I think, and this is happening. But it needs a new class because it has special properties, right? I might want to say, when I right-click this block, it does something. And so I need a new class to be able to do that. Which is why, you know, sometimes you'll create a new class. This is going to have a block renderer. Block entity properties, and then we're going to do new block entity properties, and we're going to do a supplier and block entity type init dot shaking table. Should tick correct, and then it's also going to have those multi-block properties as well. So multi-block type init dot shaking table, and then we can put that there. Yes, Wide, the stream is still up. That is correcto. It has not gone anywhere. Okay. Let's come down here. Also, let me check the music. It has paused. Guys, you gotta tell me when the music stops. Because I can't hear it. I have my own music playing. Taking table block entity. There we go. No, too late now, Bast. Okay, do I have an industrial block entity or no? Yes. What is that? Oh, that's fine. Okay. But this needs to implement syncable tickable block entity. It also needs to implement a few other things. We could look at the mixer. Would be probably the best one. Basically gonna want all of these. So we'll just add all of those. There we go. Then let's create the constructor, or I guess we're implementing the methods first. Fair enough. Okay. What is this? Let's close this. Let's... Do we need to close this or... That's just that. And that's complaining because of the constructor. So that's fine. I can just leave that there now. This, I can just import this class and then I don't have to worry about that anymore. This can go. Okay. So in the constructor, what do I need to do? I just need to pass in the block. Okay. That's nice and simple. So we can do block init, shaking table, and then we can do block entity type init dot shaking. Oh, get block. Doesn't that just use the block ref? Okay. I don't know what the point of that is. I Are you having a nice day? I am not well, I don't know. My day has been very boring, actually. I haven't done anything today. Like anything, to be honest. So, it's been mid. What do you throw in the kiln? I don't know. Let's have a look. Data. Gosh. Recipe. Aluminium ingot. Nope, not that one. Aluminium ingot. I think it's actually gonna be I can't see it if I'm being honest. But I could just be blind. I can't see it. Rotary count, there it is. You throw in alumina. No, never mind. You throw in aluminum hydroxide. Right, okay. You smelt alumina, right? Or am I crazy? Have we not finished this? Don't you smelt alumina? Oh, no, of course. Of course. You have to do electrolysis. You have to do electrolysis from alumina using cryolite, and then you get aluminum. What is the shaking table? Basically wide. It's a table that shakes. But that's it. That is actually genuinely all it does. Look, wide. I don't know what else to tell you. That's literally all it does. It shakes. It will take in I don't know what it's going to take in. Well, it's going to take in some kind of cassiterite, which I've already forgot how you say. I'll probably call it crushed cassiterite, that thing. It'll be probably taking crushed that, and then it will output, I don't know, cassiterite concentrate, maybe? I don't know, something like that. How big do we want it to be? I don't know. Also, let's create some things. So, we're going to need a wrapped inventory storage of a simple inventory. If I can actually even remember how to do this, man. Okay. It's going to want a fluid storage, so we're going to have a wrapped fluid storage of a single fluid storage, which is the wrapped fluid storage. And then it's going to have a private final wrapped energy storage of a energy storage. And then is it going to have anything else? I'm thinking it's also going to have a slurry storage, because it's going to output a slurry. Like that. Okay, so not like that. It's going to add a insert only inventory, and then this is going to be a new thinking simple inventory, which will take in this, and that will have a size of, we'll say 9. That's fine. And then does that need a size? I think no. It needs a direction. Of course it does. We'll say just direction dot up, and then we'll have the other one in direction dot down. So this dot wrapped inventory storage, add extract only inventory, new output simple inventory, this size of 9, direction dot down. We're gonna add an insert only, which is an input fluid storage. That will take in this, and then that will also take in the capacity, which is going to be fluid constants dot bucket, and we'll just say it can take in 9, we'll say 10 buckets to kind of have some simpleness. Energy storage will add a new thinking, like a type, of course, thinking energy storage. Going to take in this. It's going to have a capacity, which we'll say for now is 100,000. Max input, we're going to say is 10,000, and max output will be 0. Like that, and then we're going to add a slurry storage, which I'm going to put on the down direction. What does this want? No, wait, why has it done that? Obviously not what I wanted it to do. I want an output slurry storage. There you go. Turtie's streaming again. Yes, I am indeed streaming again. If you haven't seen update video, I would highly recommend that you check out the channel update video. It will explain everything. Yes, enable notifications. Click that bell. Even though you don't quite do it like that anymore, do you? But still. Alright, good night, Basti. Better not forget about it. Do you need me to remind you, Basti? I can remind you if you want. I can bug you about it. But yes, good night, Basti. Thank you, Alex, for the £5 donation. It's got to number 1 by paying to win. I will. Well, I'm not going to buy water. But thank you for the £5. That is much appreciated. Okay. New block pos payload this dot pos. Okay, we need the we just have so many little getters and stuff that we have to fill out. Kind of annoying, but I don't know of a better way to do this, so that's what we're gonna have to do, unfortunately. So text title is equal industria dot container title. This is the shaking table. And we're just going to return title. Screen handler. I'm just gonna... Why does it do this? I must be pressing some button. I don't know why it does that. Anyways. Shaking. Table. Screen handler. I don't know what this wants, if I'm being honest. It doesn't need these. It might need the wrapped inventory storage. Let's get rid of this as well, because this hasn't... it still hasn't saved. Has that been an hour since I did that? Yeah, that's never saving. Let's clean up the workspace here a little. Not completely lose my mind. Okay, like that. There we go. There we go. That's better. I'll zoom in a little bit for you guys as well. Not too much. But we can go to 20. And that'll be fine. Okay. So, I'm gonna check the mixer. To see what we need. Put in there. So it takes this wrapped inventory storage, and then the stock properties. So this dot wrapped inventory storage, and then this dot properties, which will create data. Not that important. Okay, a list of multi-block positions. We're going to want that. Let's move the title up to the top since it's a constant. And we'll have a private final list of block pos. Multi-block positions, and then we can return this dot multi-block positions, which we're going to populate in find positions. Now, in terms of shape and size, do I still have my... Do I still have that window up? No, I closed it. Of course I did. Taking table images. Oh, what was that one that Gemini gave? Okay, is this gonna dox me? I'm kind of concerned on going websites that you can buy things on, because a lot of them show your address. Oh god, that's blinding. Okay. Oh good lord, no, that's way too blinding. Okay, that's good enough. So basically this is what we're looking at. It's just a table, pretty much. There isn't much to it. I don't know where the water jet is though. Where does the water come out of? Might not be leaking. Oh, finding. Tech mod. Yes, I am creating a tech mod. That is correct. Very good. Oh, I see. I see how it works. Okay, so basically, let me go on Google, actually, so I can try and find up a better image. Now I know what I'm looking for. So, this is actually a perfect image. I get this, a new tab. Okay, it's really small. It's a really small image. It'll work. So basically how it works, right? This table will move back and forth. The entire table will move back and forth. It oscillates, right? And you have water. You'll have water come in. I don't know which way around this is actually. Okay. Okay, so the water will come in at this end, right? I assume here, which is why... Yeah, okay, so water comes in here. The stuff, sediment, whatever, comes in through here somewhere. And then using these lines, it gets pushed down here. I don't entirely understand it still, actually. Because how does it... I think somehow the waste stuff is going into this pipe. Or something. I don't know. I still don't quite understand. Oh, I see. No, I see. Okay. Okay, so you have water that pushes it along, and then you have wash water, which is the WW. So that comes in here on this pipe, and that pushes it this way. So then if it's light enough, it will just fall off this edge, which is T. And then the actual concentrate comes off this edge, hence C. I think that makes sense. So that's what we have to make. So I have to decide how big it is. I will probably just go with like, I think maybe like 4x3, like 4 blocks long, 3 blocks horizontal, and then maybe like 2 blocks high. It doesn't need to be very tall. All right, good night. You mean wide? It's a very simple diagram. And this is the simplest diagram I found. Look, you want me to... Fine. You know, I'll make a simpler diagram for you. Even simpler than that. We're going to really simplify this here. Let me just fill it in black so I don't blind you guys. Okay. Let's say... this is our table, right? So you will have we'll do right, so you'll have water. No, I can do right, the water comes in there. Water. Right? And then... just do this. Time. And then you have the feed, so the stuff, right? The actual stuff that you want to process. I don't know the wrong way around. Will come in here. Right, so this is the feed. Stuff you wanna process. That's not gonna work. Never mind. We'll just do it like that. Right, so that comes in here. And then basically you have like little line things down here. Let me just copy. right? So like this. Just give me a moment. Okay, I'm getting lazy now, but we ignore that. Oops, mess that one up. Right. And then it starts there. You get the point, anyways, right? It continues going down now, right? And then you have another water thing here. Well, really, it's along this entire edge, like that, right? And this is the like wash water. So what happens is the very like light stuff, right? So the I don't know what color to use. Sure, this will work. Let's do this. So they're all gonna fall off the edge down here, right? Waste stuff. And then we have the good stuff, which good stuff. You guys understand? Very simple diagram. I think that makes sense. That's assuming I'm understanding it all correctly, which I think I am. And then basically the entire thing, right? The entire thing will do this. It'll go blah, 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 blah. Can I? Okay, I can't contain it to a single axis, but you know, it does this. That's how it works. So that's what we have to make. And what I'm thinking is that we say image, if we just increase the canvas size a little bit. We'll say 125. Then we're gonna say that like it'll be 4 blocks in this direction. And then we're saying that it's three blocks in this direction. And then like vertically we're saying if I do, I'm not really gonna show what I want is, but if I do this 2 blocks, or maybe we can make it 5 blocks. Five blocks. I think that's reasonable. So now that we have our lovely diagram, we can do find positions. So does this have a center block? well, if we make it 5 by 3, then yes, it does. So that's great. So we can go 2 blocks, and then 1 block, and then 1 block up. Well, okay. So it's going to depend on the facing direction. Let's do this actually. List of block pause. I don't remember exactly how you do this. 2 lists, I think, and it's for like correct positions and incorrect position. Yes. Okay. So then we can have a Boolean is north, south. Okay. And then basically we want a for I loop. We'll start with the X. Now, X is going to be is north-south. So if it's north-south, then we're going to want to have it be... Should we have it be like this? Like, should this be facing north? Or what should be facing north? Like, which part of this is the front? I guess this is the front, right? So then we'll go 2 blocks, 2 blocks. So if it's north-south... have I done this the right way around? No, we'll start with Z then. Okay. So if it's north-south, then we're going to be -2. Or is it -1? -1. Or... Wait, no, it is negative. Or... -1. And then this is going to be... is north-south. Then 2 or 1. And bracket. Oh, because otherwise that's just gonna... It's not gonna like that. May I ask how you make it so when you type something and it auto-complete the entire line? So that is using GitHub Copilot. It basically will try and write all the code for me if I don't stop it. So, like that. It did just manage to do that. That needs to be like... this is actually incorrect. So, if state is not replaceable, then it needs to add the invalid position, and I also need to do a while loop. Y is equal 0, y is less than 1. How much of MC modding is coding something new, and how much of it is calling other library functions? I would say... Well, I mean, most of it you are going to be doing stuff with the Minecraft library. Or, well, I say Minecraft library. With the Minecraft code. Like, it just is, right? Because you're going to have new blocks, new items. You're going to want to have those items do something when you right-click, or when you left-click, or, you know, you're going to want to do something when an entity dies, or... So most things really are going to be just calling functions. Wait, how's Oh, because it needs to be less. So yeah. I would say I don't know. I think most things you're going to be doing are going to be not your code. I mean, it is your code. Like, this is my code, but you can see even in this, this is a completely custom method, right? Mojang doesn't have anything even remotely similar to this. Well, they kind of do, but not really. But I'm still using Minecraft stuff because I still need to interface with blocks and positions, states. So there isn't really a way around doing that. If state is not replaceable, then we'll just do valid positions and then we'll continue. And then else, we're just going to do, what do I call it? Correct positions or something? Just position. Okay, is this correct? Because now I'm wondering if this is incorrect. So we start at -2. So I need to do +1 here then, don't I? Or actually, you know what? I'm not going to do +1. I'm just going to do less than or equal. And I'm going to do the same here. That way that's not confusing. Okay. So if it's not replaceable, then it's an invalid position. We don't care about it, whatever. Yeah, or just this. That's... There's no need to get the state like that. Yeah, I understand that. That's all good. And then I just want to return this, basically. So invalid positions is empty, then it's positions, or it just returns an empty list. Now, in reality, this list is kind of useless at the moment, but I think the reason I have it is because eventually I wanted it to show you where it's invalid using some rendering thing, which is why I've left it around for now. Because I think that makes sense to do that. We'll come back to syncable storages because that's going to be a pain in the butt, because we're going to have to get all of these. So we'll come back to that. If this.world is equal null or client, then we return, and then we'll do the rest later. Yeah, okay. I mean, that's most things kind of done. In terms of like the base stuff that every single one is gonna need. We're gonna need to get ports, but we can come back to that in the future because that's not that big of a deal. We're gonna want these. We're actually gonna want all of these ones. These are actually the exact ones that we're gonna want, I believe. So that saves us some time, doesn't it? And then we're also going to want methods to get the specific ones. Now, funnily enough, this is actually the exact ones we're going to need. It's exactly the same as the mixer. So that saves us a bunch of time as well. Yeah. Output goes down the bottom. Energy storage, we have that on all the sides. That's fine. This has support for buckets. We will want that in the future. So we'll keep that around. We have the input inventory. We don't have an output inventory. So, wait, no, we do. We do have an output inventory. Actually, it's exactly the same. That's kind of crazy, huh? Interesting. We are actually going to want... no, never mind. I was thinking we're going to want 2 fluid inputs, but we actually don't need 2 fluid inputs. We're going to have 2 fluid ports, but they can go to the same tank. That's not an issue. Okay, then in here we can basically... Yeah, that's not going to work. I really should make it work like this. I really should just make it a list of scrap storage. But that's fine. So we're gonna want a sinkable storage, which will be the inventory. So we'll say get input inventory, output inventory, bucket, input fluid tank, output, blah 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 blah. Yeah, that's all fine. Okay. Input fluid tank, blah blah blah. Yeah. Okay, that's nice and organized. I like that. Let's quickly add these buckets. Inventory thing. So that's this one and this one. And luckily, those are actually going to be exactly the same, because the input is going to be a fluid input, and then the output is going to be a slurry output. So that's fine. That saves us a bunch of time, because I didn't want to have to write that myself, really. Okay. Now, in terms of how we want this machine to have like a progress, I'm not sure. I guess just like a progress is fine. Just having progress rather than anything else. Let me just check. Yep, I knew it. I knew the music paused. I just had a feeling. I don't trust it anymore. Okay, let's just have a progress. I think that's fine. So we're gonna go private int progress, and we'll also have a max progress. Max progress isn't going to be set to anything, and actually progress doesn't need to be set to anything. We're also going to want a private registry key of a recipe entry of a baking table recipe. Actually, it might just be recipe. I don't think we can store the specific recipe, because I think that causes casting issues. It's actually just a recipe. There's not any recipe entry. Perfect. Even better. Yeah, so we're going to want both of these as well, because we might have like a leftover. We want like a buffer, basically. Yep, we're going to want this. That's our properties. I don't need to change that at all, so I consider that a win. Which also solves our error down here with this. That's great. What else? I mean, that's kind of everything. I'm gonna copy these. Those are all fine to copy. Those should be exactly the same. Once again, should save us a bunch of time. Multi-blocks are still going to error for a hot minute. Let's go ahead and register these providers, shall we? Where are these actually being used? Are these even being used, or is it? No, they're not. I don't know why it says they're being used. That's kind of weird. So let's go into init, transfer types. So we have item, fluid, flurry, energy. Item, fluid, flurry, energy. So we'll do item storage dot sided dot register for block entity, taking table block entity, get inventory provider, block entity type init, taking table. Then we're gonna go fluid storage sided dot register for block entity, taking table block entity. Okay, then we have flurry. So we'll go flurry storage sided dot register the shaking table block entity, flurry provider, and then finally we have energy storage dot sided for block entity, shaking table block entity, get energy provider. Boom, that's all those done. What should we do next? Shall we do the multi-block or should we do the menu? Those are basically our two options. Or we could do the MBT, but I think that's kind of boring. Let's do... I mean, the menu will be kind of easy, but the problem is we're going to have to create the GUI text, which is kind of a pain. But, I think we'll just do the multi-block. It'll be nice and easy, since we've already defined everything about it, basically. So multi-block type, and then that's going to be our shaking table block entity. Shaking table is equal register. Now the size is going to be 5 by 3 by 2. So if we do 5 by 3 by 2, is 15 times 2, 30, so that's 29. Because we need to minus 1 for the middle block. And yes, we are going to want a voxel shape as well. I don't want to do the voxel shape, but yes, we are going to have. Hello, Aleatorio, welcome to the stream. I await the deletion of your message. It's going to sound really bad for anyone who does not know the law. But I suspect it will arrive soon. Go. But now it's just created some weird cuboid shape. I don't know. We'll just leave that there for now. That's fine. This is all. That's the mixer. Don't mind. Okay. Taking table screen handler. I guess we'll do that now, shall we? Let's do it. But where's it gone? Okay. Screen handler. New class. Shaking table screen handler. Extends Industria screen handler. What's the generics here? The block entity class. Okay, so shaking table block entity. And then block pos payload. That's all we need. Implement. Boom. Get inventory size. 4. Okay, this is just to find a bunch of random position. Oh, can I do an input slot? Is that like a thing? Input slot. I think I can just do slot, and then for the output ones, I'll do the output slots. So like this is output slots. And then both of these are just, well, these are actually technically predicate slots. I think that's fine. How are you doing? I am doing fine. I'm actually getting a little bit cold. I might have to close the window in a minute. Or just turn my fan off, I guess. I don't know why I still have my fan on. Actually, I'd rather just close the window. Am I blind? I can't find the screen handler. I know it's here somewhere. Ah, there it is. What was that to do? Oh, I figured this out, no? Yes, I think so. I think I figured this out. Yeah, I think so. I'll come back to it. So yes, these are just pretty good slots. That's what I suspected. Pretty good slot. Pretty good slot. Actually, I'm going to open this back up so I can see what we need. So I can say this dot wrapped inventory storage dot get inventory 0. Dot wrapped inventory dot get inventory 1. Wrapped inventory dot get inventory 2. And this dot wrapped inventory dot get inventory 3. Okay. And I'll mess around with the indexes. Well, the indexes will be fine, but I'll mess around the positions later on. Once we've created the texture. So, ooh, which one do we want? Great question. I think it's the first one, if I recall correctly. We want 2, but so yes, we want that. Then play inventory, payload. Okay, so we want that. So we can do shaking table block entity dot class, and then for the type, that's just a screen handler type init dot shaking table, and then we want the other constructor as well. So this is the server constructor, I think. No, this is the client constructor, and then we need the server constructor. So shaking table screen handler int sync id. It's actually going to do it for me. Block entity wrapped inventory storage, and then it also needs the property delegate properties. I think those go into the super. Yes, they do. Okay, shaking table. Create it in here. Thank you, Copilot. Saved me a bunch of time there. That's fine. I need to override can use. Obviously it won't be the mixer, it will be the shaking table. The progress I can just copy across because that's exactly the same. Hey. Oh, I need to apparently pass in the size of the properties here. Otherwise that won't. Okay. Import that. Nice. Okay. We're getting there, chat. We obviously have the IO ports stuff to do. I don't really want to do that right now because it's a pain in the ass. I'm going to create some better system at some point in the future for multi-blocks because I don't like. Not paying attention. I work on that screw thing. You mean the spiral classifier? Yes, I will because the vote was at 66%. So, I will. Okay, heads. Classic heads comment. I would appreciate if you didn't do that, heads. Thank you. Yeah. That would be much appreciated. Okay. I think the next thing to do. Let's go. Actually, I'm going to look at the menu first because I'm not completely certain. I think it's probably the MBT, the next thing to do. I want to check. I'll leave that. Yeah, no, it's just MBT, and luckily I can just copy paste this, so that'll save me a bunch of time. Okay, it's not going to be perfect. So current recipe. This is actually the current recipe ID, so I don't know why I called it that. Temperature, don't care about temperature. And don't care about temperature. Everything fine. Yeah, that's all fine. Okay. That was nice and simple, wasn't it? Now, for the progress, I'm kind of thinking kind of exactly the same as the mixer. Isn't it? Have I just made two mixers? I mean, it's fundamentally not a mixer, so that's interesting, but it does exactly the same stuff that a mixer does. But then I guess that's kind of every machine. Okay, I am going to go close Cable man. Window closed. Now I won't get bugs coming in trying to hack me. That's no fun. I kind of want to just copy this. It really is exactly the same. Is it though? Am I missing something? It really is exactly the same. Okay. I'm gonna copy paste it then. So yeah, obviously there's a couple of things we still need. Those are just down here. So these two. Yeah, so obviously this uses temperature to extract the energy here. But this machine doesn't have temperature. So let me just grab the other two methods. Quick. There we go. So what's the error? Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay, so we just need to update these to not be the mixer. And then that's it. So this is not a mix. Oh, actually we'll do this one first. So this is a shaking table recipe input. This is a shaking table input. This is fabric, yes. No, I do not use Forge anymore, heads. You're very outdated. I have not used Forge in a long time. Last time I used Forge would have been, oh, kind of middle of 1.20. So about a year and a half-ish. Yeah, a long time ago. As energy should probably take in the recipe. Now that I think about it. Because different recipes might have different recipe requirements, maybe? Or different energy requirements, I mean. Although the energy is really just the shaking. So maybe I would have some kind of like oscillations per second. OPS. OPS. I wonder if that's an actual thing. How the hell do you spell oscillations? Oscillation. Second. Oh. Right. I forgot that, I mean, oscillations are effectively frequency. 1 hertz is equal to 1 oscillation per second. So I will just call it frequency. Okay. That actually kind of saves me some effort. I don't know that it should necessarily be 1 energy per oscillation, though. That doesn't make necessarily that much sense. So I'm going to times that by 500. Well, we'll go 50 times 50. So we'll say that it costs 50 FE per oscillation. So per like or well per, yeah, because it's a back and forth, right? Would be 1 oscillation, I think. I don't know, man. I don't know physics. Okay, yeah, like that. And then we have input fluid tank dot amount. The fluid amount is kind of irrelevant of the recipe. I'm pretty sure it's always water. I don't know why you would ever use anything other than water. But I can check. Let's see. Okay, apparently it's not normally just water. But it is kind of just water. Apparently sometimes it can be modified with certain coagulants and whatever. But like, I'm just gonna call it water. I don't see any reason to overcomplicate things with that. So I'm gonna say that the input fluid tank, when we create the fluid tank, I can define it as a predicate fluid inventory. I can do a... Is it just a predicate fluid storage? Or can I actually do it in here itself? I can. Look at that. So I can just say variant dot is of fluids dot water, meaning that you can only input water, which is nice and simple. So then all I have to do in here is anywhere that it mentions the recipe's fluid, so this basically, is also, by the way, a shaking recipe. Shaking recipe. Shaking recipe. We are going to want some kind of like process time, yeah. And then the amount of water, I'm just going to put a value in. I don't know exactly what it should be, but I'm going to say 2 buckets per tick. So that's like quite a lot. Oh no, never mind. That's per. That would be per like thing. I think that's fine. That should be. So then all I have to do is whatever it checks if the recipe is valid. Where does it do that? Yes, Basti, I am still live. I thought you were going to sleep. Although I am live, I am going to stop streaming soon. Because my schedule, or the schedule that I tried to keep to, is 7 to 10. So 9 minutes in theory, and then the stream will end. I'm not going to be able to get this done in 9 minutes. But I also don't want to spend too long on this tonight, so... Because we have a ton of errors. Input fluid tank. Yeah, I guess I kind of have to pass that in. I really only need to pass in the amount, though. So, that's fine. That means I can actually do that, which makes that nice and simple. And then... Input fluid tank minus equals 2 buckets. Honestly, I usually just watch YouTube before sleeping. Or Netflix if I have a show. I guess on rare occasion, actually never mind. I guess it's more common than okay. I maybe I do binge Insta Reels before sleeping. Sometimes. But I try not to, because I know that if I do, I'll probably be stuck in it for like for way too long, and I will watch the most brain rot, like just the most brain rot shit you can imagine. Because my Instagram reels are always the weirdest thing in the world. Yeah, Instagram comments are crazy. They always are. Let's create the class. Surprised I managed to keep them all records. Usually I don't manage that because there's usually something that goes tits up, but it actually seems to be fine. Okay, I don't want to accidentally modify something in the mixer because that's the kind of thing I would end up doing. I'm going to bring the mixer recipe to my other monitor so that I can actually read. That's always a nice thing to do. Oh, and my PC is back. Lovely. Love when my PC just decides to freeze for a second or two. I still don't know why it does that. It's something to do with IntelliJ, because it only happens when I have IntelliJ open. I'll figure it out someday. I'm just going to copy paste this actually. There we go. And then that's fine, that's fine. Let's have a int input fluid amount, or this is actually just water, so water amount. We don't want a temperature. Okay, that's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Okay. Then we want the industrial ingredient is the input. Then we want I'll call it, yeah, just input is fine actually. Then we're gonna have a output item stack, which is the output. Then we're gonna have a slurry stack, which is going to be output slurry. we're going to have a int process time, and we're going to have an int frequency. Okay. Let's implement the methods. We're also going to want get displayed, and I think we want is ignored in recipe book, but I'm not sure about that one, so we'll leave that for a second. So we need to check that if not input dot recipe inventory dot get stack in slot 0, or I guess we actually want we want it the other way around, don't we? If not input dot test. Is it test? Oh, I got to do this dot input dot test. There you go. Or input dot water amount is less than fluid constant dot bucket times 2. Or that's actually it, isn't it? Return false, return true, and then IntelliJ will let me do that. Thank you. That's actually a very, very simple matches statement there. Craft is just going to return a copy of the output. This dot output dot create stack new local of thread local random dot current dot next log. Go. When the next update comes, when do you think the next update comes and I can use my copper tools? I think it will come in about what month is it right now? July. I think it will come in either maybe the very end of August, but I think that's improbable. I think it will be end of September till sometime in early October. That's when I think it will release. But I'm, you know, I don't know. I have no say in the matter. So I could be completely incorrect, but that makes the most sense. Maybe it comes earlier, but I highly doubt it comes earlier. Well, actually, copper tools. That was the latest one they mentioned, right? I don't know if they've mentioned whether that's a new update. No, so copper tools, by the looks of it, are going to be 1.21.9 because in Bedrock Edition it's 1.21.100.23. So that means that most likely it will be 1.21.9 in Java Edition. When will you try Rust? Never. No, I will someday. Someday I will give Rust an actual shot, but I don't have time for that right now. To be honest, because Rust takes a lot of brain power, man. It's very different. So hello Haze N Party, welcome to the stream. And let's do shaking. Go. We have the group. Which is going to be industria.id, shaking table.toString. Let's quickly create this as well, because that's just a very simple field there, or constant I should say. We're gonna have the recipe. I'm gonna finish this recipe and then I'm gonna end the stream, by the way, everyone, so we're aware. Oh, what just happened? Okay. I don't know what happened. Okay, shaking table, so that's fine. And then we're gonna go in here. Nice. Are you ever gonna make a pipe tutorial? Probably not. Just because the thing with pipes, and people want pipe tutorials, like people want cable tutorials, pipe tutorials, etc. The problem is there's so many different ways that you can do it. And realistically, no matter which way I choose to do it, someone is going to say it's not the best way to do it. So it's just not necessarily a good idea. And I think, to be honest, if we're being honest, you probably shouldn't be making pipes if you don't know how to make pipes. They're not hard. Pipes are not hard. They sound very complicated if you kind of don't think about it too much. But once you just have to think about it a little bit more and you'll probably figure it out. Because conceptually they are very simple. It's just moving from one pipe to the next. You just go along the line of pipe, you go to the next one, you transfer, you go to the next one, you transfer, etc, etc. How about multi-block? I would like to make a multi-block tutorial, yes. I've talked about this many times, about this idea of having a multi-block tutorial. I was going to make a whole like mini series on it. It's once again just one of those things I haven't got around to because it will take a long time to record and plan for. But assuming a lot of things really, I do want to do that either 1.21.1 or yeah, or 1.22. But we'll see, because it's hard to say for sure. Good night, Basti. Sleep well. I think 1.22 will be my last Minecraft version ever. Interesting. Why is that? I'm very curious to know. That is a very interesting... Okay, it doing this? I mean, I guess I kind of do want it to be optional, but... What the hell is this? I don't know that. Oh. Do I have a constructor? Yes, I do. Okay. I think I will probably keep modding for quite a while going forward, even if just as a hobby kind of thing, even if nothing else. Or maybe I won't. I mean, it's hard to say, right? It's hard to know what's going to happen in the future. I mean, the thing for me is if Railroad gets to kind of where I want it to be, then kind of the idea is I won't kind of need to do modding anymore. Or at least it will be a very different process to how it is now. But we'll see about that, because I don't know if it's ever going to get to any kind of stage like that or not. If I do this, then I can have it, yeah, like that. Hello, Mahya. I completely butchered you. Man, I'm so bad with names. I need to get good at... How does anyone get good at names? Anyone have a secret on how to get good at names? Because I'm terrible with names. I apologize. Maybe if I learned a language, I'd be good at names. Does that make sense? Is it the British debuff? Is that what it is? It might be. Please say... Okay, I'm not gonna say a random word that you tell me to say. Because I don't know what it means. And I don't want to get cancelled. So no, I'm not going to say... whatever this word is. What is this? Why is this? No, Copilot's on some shit. It is? Do I believe you or not is the question. Do I want to risk that? You know, I'm gonna Google it. So you guys don't think about trying to get me cancelled. Okay, yes, you seem to be not lying to me. That's good. Yes, okay. So yeah, so it means peace. Or it's used as a general greeting in many Muslim and Arabic speaking countries. The most common greeting is, I'm not sure I can how to say this, is the most common greeting is as salamu alaikum. Okay, I don't know what that means. That is apparently the most common greeting, which I'm sure I completely butchered. Yeah, I knew I butchered that. So this is an industrial ingredient. Got packet codec. There you go. Can I say your name again? Hayes N Party? Okay, I've said your name. You are welcome. Okay. So shaking table. What do you mean? How am I butchering your name? There's how? I don't even know how I could be butchering that. There's nothing I can get wrong there. Briefly, and then unless it's unless your name is meant to be Hazen Party. Don't pronounce that A so. Okay, I don't know. I really can't do names, man. Maybe it really is the British debuff. British, innit? The British debuff. Okay. Rabbit's Party? Why? That is nothing like your name. Rabbit's Party. Okay. I see. I did not know that. But my German is also absolutely atrocious. I learned it for like a couple months, like 3 months I think I was learning German. So I don't I literally don't remember any of it. Recipe play. German's hard, man. I tried. I'm just not good with languages, to be honest. I had Spanish in primary school, I had French in secondary school. I don't remember any of either of them. Literally like 6 years of Spanish in primary school. Don't remember a single word of it. And then how many years of French in secondary school? 4 years of French in secondary school. Don't remember hardly any of it. Hello Lillian, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I can say that name. Because that's a nice and easy name to say. I think you guys just have weird names, I'm gonna be honest. I think that's the problem. Definitely not a me problem, not a skill issue. Okay, there you go. I was following you a long time ago to learn some basic Minecraft coding. Happy to see you're still doing this. yes, I am still going strong. Well, I'm not going strong actually because we've had a very long gap in. Yeah, I guess I'm not going strong at all. Yeah, I'm surprised you can't tell where I'm from by the accent. It's funny actually. A lot of people don't hear my accent as British. I don't know how. I guess I mean I'm not received pronunciation, of course. And I'm not like I don't have a northern accent. So I guess I don't have necessarily as much of a British accent as like the stereotypical British person. Plus I don't say British. I pronounce my T's. Or I'm more like a Spanish person with a very strong Finnish accent. That's crazy. That's wild. I've heard a lot of different things, but that is not one of them. That is very far from being one of them. Oh, thank you, Copilot. That just saved so much. I try hide my region so badly. Ah. Yeah, I am British, yeah. Southern British, which all the Northerners will now hate me for. As usual. Even though they got it cheap up there. Okay. So checking table. What is this? Recipe display, yeah. Like that, and then hopefully nice. I'm French, so my English is probably not perfect, but yes. Okay, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Everyone who tells me their English is not perfect, or not great, or terrible, or any of the above, always has amazing English. And it's kind of crazy. Like, it's consistently a theme. I'm getting confused. Shaking table recipe display. But I don't trust anyone who says they don't have good English. I really don't. Until I hear you speak it, I don't trust you. Okay, what is this display even used for? Oh, no, where is it used is what I mean. Oh, get displays, of course. Displays, where's that? Am I blind? It is. Okay, and then this is just a new item slot display of blocking it dot baking table dot as item. I think that's it. I think, chat, we are done with the recipe, that is. We're far from done, of course, but why is this complaining? Oh, that's why. Shaking table recipe. Why is this complaining? Oh, that's a long? Fair enough. A long, apparently. Has that broke the recipe, I'm guessing? Nope, it actually hasn't. That's great. Okay, why is this complaining? Ah, that's why. If I do that, that'll fix those. Okay. I believe... Look at all these imports, man. So many imports. It's kind of crazy. I think we're done. For now, of course. We have a lot more to do. Probably gonna stream... I'm probably gonna stream again tomorrow, I think. I don't see why not, unless... No, I should be able to stream tomorrow. So I will probably stream tomorrow. Can you show? No. Because it's not... It's not in a working state. Because we don't have a screen and we don't have any data gen, so it's just gonna look it. But in the next stream we'll definitely get it done. Ideally. No, we should get it done. I don't see why we wouldn't get it done. Including hopefully an animation. Wow. But we're not going to get the animation done because that's going to be a lot of work to like get that done. But yeah, that's going to be the plan for the next stream. If I'm not lazy, I'll make a model for the block in between streams, but I'm probably going to be lazy, for being honest, so that'll probably end up happening next stream. But yeah, we've been going for just over 3 hours, so that's pretty good. So I am going to end the stream here. Thank you everyone for joining. And yeah, I'm going to be recording a video about Railroad tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm releasing that tomorrow. But if I do, then that'll probably be releasing just before the stream. But yeah, either way, I will see you in the stream tomorrow. So goodbye everybody, and good night.